On Saturday, you took a very young team up to Bala and eventually lost 11-0. How do you reflect on the match?
Well, positives and negatives. Obviously, there's been some negativity surrounding the result in particular. Look, we've gone up there and we've lost 11-0, and it's not a pretty scoreline. But I think, we've taken one senior player, and it's important to differentiate between senior player and first team player, because some of the development players I consider to be first team players now, like Tom Tweedy. But we've gone up there with one senior player, and I thought they didn't give up. They kept going the whole time. And despite the scoreline, some of them actually showed that they've got what it takes to play at the level, and hopefully now they'll go away and they'll want a bit more of it, and they'll do all the hard work they have to get to the level.
What was your reasoning behind the decision to take such a young team?
Well, first, I suppose the most important thing to say is it wasn't a decision that we just made at the drop of a hat. We had a board meeting about it actually after Carnarvon. We lost 2 more players against Carnarvon to injury. And had a board meeting to say that, look, we are bare bones here. We've got about 7 or 8 players who were 50-50, let's say, for the final. We had 6 fit, including Liam Walsh, who did play. 600% fit players. And we just felt that for our own personal agenda, which is to do our best to win the Welsh Cup, we've got a free hit at that, it would be better not to rest those players, but not to risk them, because let's just say we don't get any of the injured boys back, and then we lost another 2, because we lost 2 against Carnarvon, 2 against Flint, we lost another 2 against Bala. We could potentially be playing 6 or 7 development players in our Welsh Cup final, which doesn't suit our agenda. But also, I've read things about phrases like the integrity of the league. What about the integrity of the Welsh Cup final? We were concerned about the integrity of the Welsh Cup final, that we might actually go there with a half a team. So we had to make sure that those fit players stayed fit. And also, if we don't get injured boys back, some of those development players will be playing, and we needed to see what they look like in the fire, if you like. So it's a very difficult decision between a rock and a hard place. And we just made that decision, and whilst I understand some people might not agree with it, our hearts are in the right place, if you know what I mean, and it is what it is, and we made the decision and we stick by it.
Is there anything you would have done differently with the benefit of hindsight?
I think we've probably been a little bit naive about the reaction. I think, look, we played the same team for 10 men against Flint second half and didn't concede, and no one was bothered then. And probably that gave me a false sense of security that they could go up there. And I didn't expect us to win, but maybe we would keep the scoreline 5 or 6-1, maybe something, I don't know. But I didn't expect it to be 11. So maybe a little bit naive in that sense. And we probably should have communicated it with the FAW that we had this injury crisis to pre-warn them. But, this injury crisis is not a new one. It didn't happen overnight. Anyone who takes an interest in the league would have, we lost Miles Davis. For me, it was a poorly timed Wales C game, broken leg. Sean McDonald's been out, Ashley Evans has been out, Cletton's been out, Keane Watts has been out. We haven't played a first team and then all of a sudden gone, right, development boys are in. For the last few weeks, we haven't been able to field a team, which is even why I played again, which I don't want to do. And then I got injured.
How is the injury list now looking ahead of Sunday?
I think, like I said, we've got 7 or 8 50-50, and you can imagine across that we've got some who were being told by the medical team that the cup final might come a bit too soon for them, and others, they're saying, yeah, he'll be fine. So we're going to test them this week. We've actually, we've spent a lot of money on medical over the last month. The club have scans, extra therapists, extra physiotherapists, even an anti-gravity machine to help test one player. So we're doing everything we can to get them back, and if we do get them back, if we get them all back, I think it's going to be a great final, and I think we can really push TNS all the way. If we don't get any back, it could be a long afternoon for us, but we'll still give everything we've got, as we did against Bala.
You've run TNS very close in the 4 league games this season. Are you confident you can go one step further and beat them this time around?
I think if we get a strong 11 out, I think we'll run them really close. you know, I got a lot of respect for them. But yeah, I'm really confident in my team, and we do always cause them problems. And you know, we got a fresh plan again now, which we've been working on. We'll continue to work on this week, especially if we get bodies back. And yeah, I think if we perform on the day, I think we can win it.
What does it mean for you and the club to be part of this Welsh Cup final for the first time in the club's history?
Yeah, I think it's you know, we talked about the Welsh Cup when I first came to the club. You know, we obviously wanted to get in the Welsh Premier League first and foremost, but the Welsh Cup was talked about as well. I enjoyed winning it as a player. It meant an awful lot to me as a player. So to win it as a manager, you know, we've had a stressful few weeks, and even just for the sake of the last few weeks, the relief, if we can manage to pull it off, it would all be worth it. So I just want to see the look on some people's faces if we do it. Yeah.
Do you have a message for our supporters ahead of Sunday?
Well, just look, thanks for all your support all season. I know the league season has petered out disappointingly for us. We gave it our absolute all, and unfortunately circumstances and just a lack of resilience in certain times meant that we couldn't do what we wanted to do in the league. But we want everyone there, as many people there as we can. It's the showcase event. So going back to the earlier questions, it's the showcase event. The biggest game, the biggest crowd in the biggest stadium of the domestic season. We want to get as many people there as we can, and if we can get as many players as we can out on that pitch, I think we've got a good chance.
Brilliant. Good luck, Rhys.
Thanks.
Cheers.